What time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah? Keep listening.
Hello and welcome into the Wednesday edition of Your Show. I am your host, Gary. I hope you're having a fabulous finish to your Wednesday workday. If not, we are here to help. And as always, we are here to inform, as there's a lot going on in our province right now in regards to forest fires and wildfires and people being displaced and evacuees. And our friends from the Saskatoon Community Foundation, they're helping out with the United Way. They're partnering up, and they got a really, really important, I guess, venture going on right now. And with the SCF, I have my buddy Fred here, and Fred's going to give us a little update on what's going on with all of that. Fred, how you doing, my friend?
Doing well. Yeah, things are changing really quickly all the time with the different evacuations, and the fire is moving.
Yeah.
Fire is growing, and it's affecting more and more communities. So as of yesterday, we had about 3,000 or just over 3,000 evacuees here in Saskatoon from different parts of the province. And as La Ronge has been evacuated, there's more and more coming all the time. So I think it's a little challenging to imagine, what all these people doing. So right now they're housed in about 17 hotels across Saskatoon, as well as the Cosmo Civic Center.
Yeah.
And a good portion of these evacuees are children. So they arrive here. They've probably packed up, a small amount of things, whatever they can find, that's precious to them, and they've left their home and they've arrived here in Saskatoon. They've been put up with bed, food, shelter, that type of stuff. And then what we're raising funds for with the Community Foundation and the United Way are for more of the emergent needs, the entertainment, the transportation, things like that. And we're always looking for the organizations who are on the front line supporting to give us the lead and the direction in terms of where those funds are needed the most. So we're just trying to be as responsive as we can. We've opened the Emergency Response Fund that now has collected about $20,000 from the community. So thank you so much for all the generosity.
Absolutely.
And then the board of the Saskatoon Community Foundation has authorized us to provide an extra $25,000 on top of that. And we've recently given our first grant to Comfy, which is collecting different entertainment items. So for kids, coloring books, deodorant, underwear, swimsuit, things like that. So yeah, we've provided that initial bit of funds to them so they can ramp up what it is that they're offering, and they can be really supportive with that.
And that's something, a lot of people don't think about is pretty much like you explained it. Yes, we're helping. Yes, we're bringing these people in, but what do you do once the people are here? And when your life is being drastically changed this quickly, the value of being able to take people's minds off of that, I think, really, really steps up. And the idea to, bring people together and give them some sort of comfort in this time of crisis, I think, is very important. So it's an amazing thing you're doing. How can people help out? Where do people go to get involved and donate and do all those other things that we need?
Yeah, so it depends on what you would like to donate. There are certain areas like the Métis Friendship Center or Comfy. Double check that one first. Comfy is taking physical goods.
Yes.
If you want to supply monetary donations, come to our website, saskatoon.communityfoundation.ca, or the United Way's webpage, unitedwaysaskatoon.ca, and then you can donate there. There's a portal to make a donation. And then I think one of the best things you can do is just really open up your heart. Here in Saskatoon, we have all these people coming, and let's show them the hospitality that we can as they come into our city, and we'll see them around different places. I know there's a lot of people going to swimming pools. Someone was saying they're going to the Berries game. I heard someone who works at Cabela's saying they're looking for outdoor sporting things. So we'll see them in the community, and we might not even realize It's a good time just to show people how welcoming we can be in our community.
I love that. And I say it all the time around here. We are all about doing good things and helping others. And our main goal here is to make this world a better place, to bring the importance of putting others before yourself back. And, the importance of karma and doing all these good things. And this is another great example of how people can do that and do good things. And then they'll notice once you start doing good things, they don't stop and they start to, snowball. And it's a very contagious thing in a good way when you see someone else helping and you say, oh, you know what? That looks like that would be a really cool thing to do. I'm going to do that too, and just sort of build on that. So this is right up our alley, and I appreciate you stopping by and getting everyone caught up. Do we have any idea how long this is going to be going for? Like, is this just sort of a play it by ear type of thing and just do as much as you can while you can?
Yeah, it's definitely an emergency situation, and it's always changing. So far, we don't have any rain in the forecast, and the fire is continuing to grow.
Yeah.
So as much as we can just be nimble and respond to what's happening, we'll continue on with that. There's certain places like the EMO, the Emergency Management Office here in the city of Saskatoon, is doing a great job in keeping people updated. So yeah, just continue to stay in the loop with those organizations, and then respond however we can.
Right on. Well, Fred, I really, really appreciate it. You and Rachel and everyone at the Saskatoon Community Foundation, always doing great things and continuing to do so. SaskatoonCommunityFoundation.ca, where you can make a monetary donation, and you can find other places and just follow along and help out if you can, because it is always needed. I really appreciate you stopping by, brother. It means a lot, and keep us updated, and we'll get you back in again if we need to get anything out there.
Thanks for the time.
Awesome.
Take
All right,
care.
that's Fred from the SCF. Woo, this is good. See, and this is the live part. I always appreciate this because everyone's sort of like, which way do I go? Perfectly done. You're a good man, Fred, from the SCF. All right, so there you go again, keeping everyone updated with how those wildfires are going. Okay, now that's a perfect example of why we go live, because you leave things open to be able to do these sort of things, these pivots, and continue to help out where you can. We are still the only live show originating from Saskatoon, going 4 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday on the internet, and we're very, very proud and grateful and thankful for that. And we also have a camera that is second to none. It's been called the cute Nami of cameras. It's been called the cutest thing you will ever see in the history of your day or days. It's won 5 awards. It might be 6 now. We'll see how it all goes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Maggie Cam. Look at her go. Beautiful. And she's very attentive. We got a lot of people in the studio today, so she's really, really enjoying. There she is. Hi, girl. That's a good puppy right there. As always, the Maggie Cam for our best friends over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. They are your pet's natural grocer. When you walk through those majestic doors, you're greeted by their greeting dog. Maggie's our greeting dog here. Leroy is their greeting dog's name. Leroy and Maggie are actually dating. They're a puppy power couple. They met at one of those puppy greeting conferences that they hold around town, and they're 2 of the best in the biz. Leroy will walk up to the till. You say hi to Rochelle or Mike, 2 of the most incredible human beings you'll ever meet, and then your shopping experience keeps getting better. We're talking toys. We're talking buckets full of treats that are on sale every Treat Tuesday. We're talking about buckle-up collars and matching leashes, all the latest fashions. They got all the clothes you need for your animals. We're talking beds. We're talking jungle gyms, climbing things, raw food in the fridges at the back if you are looking to switch your dog to that diet. They also have the best cleaning station in the history of all cleaning stations right beside those fridges, and so much more. If they don't have what you're looking for, they're the type of people that will order it for you. That's what Mike and Rochelle and the rest of the team do there. And not only that, they are open after hours and weekends. Thanks to Kirsten and Chris. All of that and so much more waiting for you over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. Your pet's natural grocer. Aw, Marge, come on, man. Girl, come on. We want one good there. Little side profile. You know, if I was a more experienced camera guy, I would go from the side profile to the Prime Minister poster, also with her face on it. As you can tell, I have to use a handheld controller, so it's not as smooth as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the Maggie Cam. Woo! All right, we're off to a great start. I got you in my shot already, so. No, it's okay. I like it. I think you look beautiful, and I'm very, very, very excited to hang out with you here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my guy, my main man. Say hello to Simon Hyatt. Woo! Wow, the crowd didn't go as hard as I thought they would. Yeah, okay, they're waving. They're just not putting the
waving.
hands together.
They're so odd. It's just shocked silence.
Yeah, and again, that's why we go live right there.
Absolutely.
And we have one more guest joining us for now. Maybe another member of the All the Way Around table will join us a little bit later. We'll see how that all goes. But it is now time to check in. The All the Way Around the World part of the All the Way Around table coming to us probably from his Almazy Fresca out in Melbourne, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, he is coach number 1. Oh, a good transition.
Hey.
Good and he's sporting the Berries hat.
Nice.
Look at that. Looking
Spider-Man
good, coach.
Meme.
I just got my Golf and Nerds hat on. I love this hat too, though. It's pretty awesome. How we doing, coach number 1?
Oh, I've got a little bit of a case of menomia, so I'm feeling sorry for myself this week.
Oh, no. That's not good.
You guys get menomia in Saskatoon?
I don't even know. I don't know what it is.
I think it's worse than the man flu.
Oh, no. Pneumonia. I got you now.
Oh.
The manliest form of pneumonia.
Yeah.
And
So
you still made
It's been
time.
a quiet week.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, do we just eliminate the Almazy Fresco from the winter time there in Australia? Is that what happens? You got to stay inside the office?
Well, especially if he has pneumonia.
That's a good
yeah,
point, too.
yeah, that's when you got menomia. You don't go out much. You just wear the same clothes all week and don't get out of bed and sulk that you get no sympathy from your family. So the alfresco is used in the winter. We've got the heater in there, but not today.
That's it. Okay, well, again, I'm grateful you made it in. I can tell you're struggling, and it means a lot. Now, you, my friend,
Hello.
Saskatoon Berries.
How about those berries?
Get us caught up. Tell us all about it.
Berries are on a roll, undefeated at home.
Woo.
Opened up with a loss on the road, and then since then have won, I believe it's now 4 in a row, because they won 1 on the road and then have won the first 3 at home.
Like that.
4th of that mini home stand coming up tonight. Heading straight there from
I love it.
this fine palace.
Have they acknowledged that the reason they're undefeated at home is because of you?
I mean, some things don't need to be said.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
think
fair.
you can feel it in
Yeah,
there.
everyone just knows.
I mentioned last week, if people weren't watching when I dialed in from Cairns Field,
cool.
from Next Gen Patch,
Loved it.
they've actually introduced a game.
Simon Says.
Simon Says.
How did Simon
that I
Says
get
go?
It's taking the nation by storm.
Doesn't surprise me in the least.
So there's a bit of a debate in the scorers booth, and I'll get you
Okay.
guys to weigh in on this. So
Perfect.
the deal is, because this is my first full year as the public address announcer for the Berries. I sort of came in midstream last year. They introduced this new game, Simon Says, like we all played when we were kids, which I'll be honest, it's haunted me a little bit in my lifetime. It's because, Simon Says, Simple Simon.
I didn't want to say
Hello,
anything.
my name is Simon. Do you want to see my drawings?
I like to do drawings.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, Simon would be a tough name to hold up.
You got to be a special kind of person.
Yeah, and you definitely are, my friend. I appreciate that.
But yeah, it's been going great playing Simon Says. The first time we played it, I kind of I was going bing, 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 bing through the command. Stand up. Simon Says, touch your head. Simon Says, sit down. Bark like a dog. And
Didn't say Simon Says.
Yeah, exactly. So we're trying to find the exact right speed. But at the end, someone wins a Berries hat.
That's
What-
freaking awesome.
what more-
I love that.
What more do you need than that?
And does everybody in the crowd play along?
The response has been good. Here's the thing, because while I'm playing it, I'm looking down at my sheet and I'm reading it, so I'm not actually looking up. This is also something I encounter at Rattlers games. It's people often ask me, "Hey, what was the crowd like?"
What crowd?
I'm
reading the paper, bro.
I have headphones on and I'm looking down at a piece of paper or I'm watching the action. But yeah, from the noise I can hear from when Simon Says is being played, it's a phenomenon.
I'm very happy that this has happened, and I'm happy that you get to play a game with an entire stadium. That's pretty damn
It's
cool.
so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Having that power. All right, Berries fans, make some noise, and then all you just hear.
Well, I'll tell you, as a guy who also had that power as the PA announcer for the Rush.
That's right.
They don't always scream when you say "let's go." Sometimes they'll just stay quiet, and then you feel like a failure. So I'm happy you're crushing it. It's hard, man. We
It's
talked about
tough.
it before. PA announcing. I guess just public speaking as a whole. Hey there, Coach number 1. It's hard stuff.
hard stuff to get a reaction. There's many times where I'm talking to a group and the faces are just really, really serious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are they really into this? Or are they just off in space? And I've actually asked people this sometimes, like afterwards, if there's people in the crowd I know, I said, hey, now, when I was talking about this, everybody looked really serious. What was going on? And they said, I know my experience. It's all these stories we tell in our head, right? I'm saying, oh, they're not paying attention or they're out in space. Yeah. Whereas the person was like, you just said something pretty heavy before, and I was still thinking about that. And that was, and that's what you want, to spark some thinking. So, yeah, I think you guys probably have a few more people. You get 2,000 or 3,000 people at the game or at the Rush or at the Berries game.
Yeah.
But you guys have an advantage because probably half of them are pissed. So you'd think they'd be into it.
And that's just the people in the booth.
My talks. Yeah.
You're telling me you don't serve drinks at your events?
I should.
Yeah.
I think we should do that. Yep. 9:30 start.
Perfect. Perfect time for a VB. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe some Coolaba on the side.
How does Simon Says work? Is it any time throughout the game? Is it a particular inning? How does and how do you come up with the ideas of what Simon's going to say for Simon Says?
Good question.
All excellent questions, Coach. There's one specific time in the game when it happens. I believe it's at the bottom of the fourth inning, or heading from bottom of the fourth to top of the fifth. I should say
Halfway through.
And the person who kind of runs the whole operation and tells me when I should be saying things. Aaron is the person who comes up with the various Simon Says prompts.
Nice.
No thinking required on my part. Just read, monkey. Read.
Ron Burgundy, yep. Sometimes, see, if I was her, I'd totally throw in some just to see if you're paying attention. Now, everybody,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it, but that would be a really fun break. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, go F yourself. That's the good one right there. Man,
Solid.
I've been accused of Ron Burgundying a lot, and I tend to do it to the point where I've almost gotten caught like that. But luckily,
Like reading off a prompter and...
yeah, like having a script and just reading it. Like, okay, so I'll break it down for you real quick. Doing a sports reads during a sports show, like a sports update. So the back end, we're going into commercial. And now with your quick sports update, here's Gary. And then I'll have a script that I would print off. And this is, again, printing off a script shows you how long ago this was. But I'd have my script right there, and I'd just read it word for word without proofing it, like if I was late running in. And then you'll catch yourself like with something right in the middle that has nothing to do, like it's almost like copy and pasted.
Sure.
And I just go right over it like nothing ever happened. And then the main rule I always had, and it works pretty good, is never go back to the scene of the crime. We talk about this all the time. Never acknowledge the fact that you just said, yeah, Blue Jays up 7-2, Edmonton going overtime. This is an update. Yes. And just act like nothing happened. Then
Keep
people
on
like,
going.
yeah, then they question, like, did that just, I don't know. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just reading my script. But I've definitely Ron Burgundy myself a lot like that. And it's not a good feeling. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've been
So
there.
you got to be aware of it. This is the all the way around table hanging out minus Coach, 2. He may be joining us a little bit later. He's got baseball duties and dad duties and everything else like he always does. Curtis Avatar Anderson. I'm not sure. What was his reasoning for today? We got Phenom on the Wednesday and Tuesday. He hasn't even said hi. Phenom, say hi over here. There he is. Just a hand still. Where's your dad? Just sign language me with your vocals. Oh, working. See, he's really good at that.
From what I hear, he'll be at the Berries game tonight.
Yes, well, he should be. That's his gig now, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's doing every game, but
I want you to give me a report card on his performance as the moving camera guy.
I mean, there's no one better at it
That's true.
than Curtis
Yeah,
Anderson. He's
best-
fantastic
best
at
in the
it.
biz. Yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
worked
fair.
together for years.
Yeah.
And he's just kept that. I mean,
He's the reason you're here. He's the reason you're here. He's
Yeah.
the reason so many people are here, man.
exactly.
That guy
And
is awesome.
my good friend Damien, who's
Thank
over
you.
here
I
just
wasn't
off
sure
camera.
I wasn't sure if we were shouting him out or not.
No,
So
we're
happy
gonna, we're gonna
have him.
mention him. He
Absolutely.
knows.
The great.
I was
Curtis
about to
Evans.
say handheld camera. It's a young person's game in my mind.
Unless you got a chiropractor
I don't
on
know
call.
how Damien can attest to this. I don't know how Curtis does it. I mean, he's a little younger than I am, but
Well, he's jacked.
he is. He's pretty jacked.
Yeah. Last week on the All the Way Around table, it was just him and I. We talked about why he's jacked because just like myself, he used to be very overweight.
This is
Yeah, and we didn't go too deep. It was only like surface deep, but that's why he stays so jacked now is because he got out of that big boy funk. And I said, all I had to do was just quit drinking alcohol. That's all I did. And I lost like 60 pounds.
Wow.
So for him, it was a little bit of a different journey, but same idea where you're just looking in the mirror and you hate yourself. It's like, oh, all right, I better do something. For me, my workout was not doing this with vodka anymore. For him, working out was his workout.
You're like Andy on Parks and Recreation. Do you watch Parks and
Are
Recreation?
you kidding me? It's one of my favorite shows of all
So
time.
good. When Chris Pratt went off to do Jurassic World or whatever the Marvel movie he does.
Yes, he's the guy. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
He had to lose a bunch of weight for that.
Yep.
But on Parks and Rec, they explained it as, just stop drinking
Drink
beer
beer.
for like 2 weeks.
He's the best.
You lost 60 pounds?
Yeah. It's so true. And between him and Ron Swanson, like nonstop, everything. So good. We'll get into that another
Great
day. Coach, oh my goodness. All right. We said it's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, it is about time to flip in our final member of the day. As I can't say enough. This is why we go live. This is the coolest part about it, is anything can happen, including Coach, 2 joining Coach number 1 in a double Zoom with an incredible transition. I believe it's about to happen right now. Look at that. Hey! Here we go, Coach, 2, live from the whip. Where are you off to, Coach 2?
I'm just leaving work, and I'm right around that area. If you recall, about 7 months ago when we were doing the double Zoom often, where it's really windy and I'll cut out a ton. So if that happens,
Okay.
it's the area.
Sounds good. You look great. Your hair looks fantastic.
Really, I'm letting it grow out where it's multiple different lengths all over the place. It's very unprofessional. I get a bunch of negative comments about it from my superiors at work. But I preach that we shouldn't judge each other. So that's worked for me so far.
It's a beautiful thing. And just so you know, as a guy who just lets it go, I've been on all natural grow up here for, a long time, like 5 years. But I will say smooth as eggs from everything else down here. It's just, this is where all the hair goes. So it's good to stand out and do what you like. Good for you. Do something for yourself.
I'm pumped to shave it down to the root, you know what I mean? Just like some guys do. But I have this huge bump from falling off the monkey bars, I think, when I was 4.
It's still there?
Something like that, or 5 or 6 or 7. And there's this massive bump, and I'm scared what that would look like
That's fair. Oh, you're getting one of your win spots.
if I
Yeah.
if I bicked my head. So
Okay. Coach number 1, you got anything you want to float out there? As I like to think you are the leader of this little Wednesday party we have. What do you got in the docket today?
Well, as I'm a little grumpy still from last week. So last week I had to fly to Sydney, and I was working with a group of lawyers the next day, and it was about an hour and a half drive up the East Coast. So beautiful part of the world. Flying to Sydney, plan was to grab a rental car, cruise up to a place called Terrigal, I think, Terririgal. We'll call it Terrigal. Right on the beach, like beautiful spot of the world. Get to the Sydney airport, land. You have to get a bus to where you get the car rental from. So it's a 15-minute drive just to get to the car rental place. That's all right. And I get there. Now, I don't know if this is just an Australian thing or if it's in Saskatoon, but here's what I learned is that if you do not have a physical credit card, they will not give you the car.
Come on. That doesn't make
So
any sense.
there's no tap. There's no taking the numbers down. Anyways, this is 7:30 at night, so it's the night staff. There's no management there. And this poor girl, I didn't get angry with her, but she could tell I was upset. I said, I know it's not surely this guy, because they wouldn't give me the car. So I'm stuck in whoop. And the only things that are around there is Hertz, Europe Car, and Thrifty. None of them take. You have to have your physical credit card. I don't have any physical credit cards. And I don't think that's unreasonable in today's world. It's all on the phone or on the watch. So anyways, I had to get an Uber. So that I wasn't very happy with that because that's $210 later.
Oh, no.
I get to the hotel.
Are they using
And
in Sydney? Are they still using the big ka-chunk ka-chunk credit card machine? Is that why you have to have one?
No.
no,
Fraud.
but they do have the thing they swipe it through. They've moved on beyond that. But all of them are like that. So then I get to the hotel and I check in, and the lady says, "How you going?" So I said, I kind of complained as I did, because again, nobody's feeling sorry for me. I'm just grumpy that I had to spend $210 on a.
Rightfully so,
on
by
a-
the way.
What's that?
I said, rightfully so. You should be grumpy. That's a pretty big,
Yeah.
pretty big mishap there.
So then she's like, "All right, cool. Well, your room's covered. That's part of the conference. I just need your credit card to cover any incidentals." I said, "Are you for real?" She goes, and she gives me a little wink. She goes, if you have the numbers, I'll take those and I can enter it in manually."
Like a
And I
normal
thought,
person.
very logical, very logical. So yeah, so I spent 400 and some bucks on 2 trips for my work in Sydney, because then I had to get back the next day.
Now, here's a question for you. Did that experience bleed over into your conference and your performance with your job? Did that affect you in any way?
I did think about bringing that up, like, if people were talking about challenges that they're having at work, and I said, "Well, let me tell you about this one." But no, I kept that one to myself. But I did get, when I got back on Friday, I called the car rental place and like the customer service area, the 1-300 number. And again, this poor person on the other side is just like, she goes, "All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for choosing us." And then I said, "Whoa, that can't be it. Like, I could have called you guys and done that, or just come on a podcast and complained about it. Surely they could do something about it." I've since gotten an email saying that they can't do anything about it. And
Ooh.
thank you again
boy.
for choosing Europe Car. So
Thanks for coming by, Damien. I was just I've
Yes.
realized the studio
He's
audience
sitting there,
section isn't
yes.
great because he can't hear
No.
anything that they're saying because we're wearing earpieces.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, Damien.
It's
No.
trust. It's been gold.
Hey, so great to meet you. You're welcome back anytime. Absolutely love you, brother. Good man.
Take
right
care.
there.
Is a good man.
Heck yeah.
So my takeout, or just, this is a public service announcement. If you
Yes.
have to rent a car, make sure you bring a physical credit card with you. You do not want to be stuck without it.
See, that's not a problem here, is it? Have you ever had to rent a car and had to have a physical credit card?
I mean, I feel like I do always have a physical. Like I
a good
usually
point,
use
too.
my phone to pay for stuff,
Yeah.
but I think I do still carry a card enough. But yeah,
Interesting. What about you, Coach Comet 2?
Well, I can tell from experience at work, where at Convoy Supply, where I work, we will not accept credit cards over the phone or just a number in the person, even if it's even if someone comes into the office and maybe their boss or a customer is paying for the material. We won't accept credit cards over the phone. There's just been too many issues over the years. So Moneris, which runs those debit machines, they actually have an online portal that we can send a link to, but it's a huge pain in the ass. Like if someone pops in and just says, "I don't have a credit card," we do accept tap off phones and stuff like that. But yeah, like just having just the number doesn't fly anymore.
Well, so
anymore.
I should clarify. I paid for the car ahead of time.
Well, that's
So this is what annoyed me too, is I'd already paid for it, but it was for if you go through tolls.
Okay,
It's like a pre-auth.
Yeah, I can relate then. So I tried to open a bank account for Jacoby because he's got a job. He's umpiring and he's doing some reffing. So he's got some money coming in, not a lot, but here and there. And he's got a joint account with us, but we wanted to have finally open one on his own because it's way overdue. And you need a passport. I need to send in a passport with, I won't say what groups, but they're like, "Well, can you just scan in his passport?" I was like, well, we didn't bring his passport to the bank. I mean, I have his birth certificate. I have his health card. I have him here. he's alive, he's a person. They're like, no, we need his passport. I was just like, what do you mean you need a passport? And then yeah, I called something online, but yeah, a bunch of these things don't make sense to me. So if you've already prepaid for the vehicle and you have the card on your phone, do you not? Or you didn't? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So they literally they have a sense of the information from your card already that's been used to purchase. And they can't just look back at that and say, "Oh, okay, that was yours." They have to like see it with their own eyes. Like it seems outrageous.
Like, it makes no sense. It would be on his phone though.
That's
So
what I
you
mean.
could show your phone. You know what I've done, Adrian, and I've done this with
Here he goes.
during the whole
It's getting
COVID,
serious.
the COVID world, is I have a screenshot of my driver's license on my phone. I have my health card screenshot maybe in my wallet and stuff like that. But you must have that as well. Like you're smarter than I am. So you probably have that on your phone.
We've got digital driver's license now.
Yeah.
So like,
So
anyways,
that
if there's
should be enough
anybody
to identify you.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
But what really annoyed me, and I know this is my problem, and I'll take that on board, but they're like, I'm like, so what am I supposed to do? And she's like, I'm not sure, sir. You could call a taxi. And I was just really annoyed with the response. And
So did they refund your
and look,
money?
no, I'm still waiting on that too. So like the Ubers plus the car rental fee. So anyways, if there's any listeners out there, viewers, that works in this industry, look, there may be a valid reason for this. I've got no idea what it might be, but if someone could explain it, I'd feel so much better. I think I'd still be ticked off that I spend $400 on Uber and another $120 on the car rental, but
That's a lot.
I'll get over it at some stage.
Well, time heals all wounds is what I keep telling myself. So we'll see if it works out for Coach number one. This is the all the way around table. Every Wednesday, this is what we do. We got Simon Hyatt in the house. We got Coach number one. We got Coach comma two. And it is time now to tell you a little bit about my friend Mobley Llorente. As it's time to spring into your dream home, remember that as the summer is arriving, and so is your chance to find the perfect home. With mortgage rates coming down, now is the ideal time to buy. Mobley Llorente with TMG, the mortgage group, works with multiple lenders to find the best mortgage for you, saving you time, money, and most importantly, stress. As you just heard, stress is everywhere all the time. So it's very important to avoid that. Whether you're self-employed, a first-time buyer, or have credit challenges, he is always here to help with 24/7 personalized support. And the best part, his services are completely free. Give him a call or text him anytime. Mobley Llorente with the Mortgage Group, 306-370-5804. Now, if you'd like to get something like that, if you want to get the word out about what you're doing, it's real easy to do. As long as it loads up. As long as it loads up, man. I just cut a promo. There it is. Of these things acting up. It was pretty funny. As you hit it a couple times to see if it works, and it doesn't work, and then it just goes zoop, zoop, zip, and it's just chaos. Very fun. So we're going to try it out here. Send us an email. I'm going to sing it. No one else probably knows the song enough to sing it, but I'm going to sing it because it's a tradition around here, and it's what we do. Yesterday, actually, I didn't sing. I only sang half the song and let the rest of the gang sing it. It was very cool. Maybe one day we'll get there, but no pressure today. Just send us an email to...
I'm hiding behind...
1, 2, 3, 4.
The address.
Contact@dufferinave.com. That is the email. This is the theme song. And then we get it out. Hey, look who's on it.
That's all right.
Sleeping on the job right there. We also got a website. Royal Anders, our good buddy, made that for us, and it's absolutely amazing. Check it out, DufferinAve.com. We'll
Get out of here, you.
And the Twitch stream. It has been called the Hansel of Twitch streams because it's so hot right now. So hot, in fact, that we like to use the air horn on it. And I think it's the first time I've got to use the air horn with the earpiece in. So I was told by Phenom we have lowered the level, so it shouldn't blow our ears out. Let's see. Twitch stream.
Yeah, that's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think-
Twitch.tv/DufferinAveMedia.
Yeah.
You think?
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was I got distracted by something.
That story of
As is
life
my
right
want.
there. That's it. So head on over to Twitch Friday night. So actually there might be a makeup stream tomorrow with our good friend Brooksy. We'll do gaming with Brooksy tomorrow as we got our N64 EverDrive cart, which means we have every single game ever made for the N64.
Oh, wow.
On the N64. So Brooksy and I are going to explore all of that tomorrow, I believe, around 1:30. And then Friday night, back to Final Fantasy VI with Uncle Brando and Phenom. Are you in the house this Friday? Yes, he is. And that's very fun because we do all the voicing for all the characters. So it's not just playing the video game, but it's a artistic performance as we're voicing all of the characters' lines in different types of voices. It's very fun.
Super cool.
So that's what's going on over there. Don't mind me. I'm just going to.
What's going on? Is this going away? Oh, well, look at that getting out
Taking
here.
care of it.
I think Coach Kamatu's getting ready to show us the kick change-up grip over here. I think.
I would love to see it. What are you working with there, Coach Kamatu?
My ball bucket spilled in the back of my truck, so I was just picking up a couple balls as I was going. There's AJ sending messages, and I don't quite know what's going on because I'm on my phone, so I can't really read them. What are you talking about over there, AJ?
I was just trying to find some Simon Says things that you can add to your list.
Hold on.
I
got something for us here. As Coach Kamatu is holding that ball, what is your favorite pitch to throw, Coach Kamatu?
I missed that. So you're doing the Berries game and you have a thing called Simon Says.
Oh yeah, sorry, you weren't here for that. We explained it off the top of the show. There's every Berries home game. There's a portion where I get to lead the entire crowd in a rollicking game of Simon Says, and at the end, if you're among the people still in the game, you might win a Berries cap, or like the one that Coach Kamo 1 is wearing all the way over there in Melbourne.
There it is. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like so Gary.
Yes.
When I pitched, I like to throw the four-seam fastball.
Sure.
Okay.
Classic.
And then I like to put my fingers together and throw kind of a cutter, or in the sorry, I'd hold it like this. Sorry, like that, so you could sort of see the horseshoe there, and then I'd put my fingers there to do kind of a cutter, and then I'd grip it heavier to do like a slider, and then sometimes I'd put three fingers to throw my change up.
Yeah.
Change up that I try and pronate this way so it dive off and break Jesse Renenberg's bats.
Little ghost fork action.
That was the goal.
Great Jesse Renenberg drop there.
That happened like 2 games in a row. It's pretty funny. Those are my pitches. My kid has freakishly long fingers, or normal, and I have tiny fingers. But I like to say that he's the freak. But he's got long enough fingers where he throws,
That's
like
slitty.
he can sink them. Like that needs to work in my. But he's got these long, beautiful fingers. You should see the splitty that he throws. It's absolutely unreal.
Okay, hold on.
Funny. And I don't even know when he started working with that, but he threw it. The wind was blowing out. So it's like if he grooves one, we were playing on 18U diamonds. There's 50U kids. So it's like a 250-foot home run
Defense.
shot, or it's still a home run because it just goes for 400 feet or something like that. Or you hit it's double in the gap, but that's an inside the park home run for these guys. But the wind was blowing out. He was playing Kindersley, their second team, or maybe their only team actually, but into the wind, his split finger was just like not moving at all. And then the wind would blow like just over the ball, and then it would just
late sink.
Amazing.
Dive.
Now,
it's so awesome to see. There's one kid that just had no hope in hell of hitting it. It was awesome.
For comparison's sake, if you were to compare it to Rhino legend, the great Ryan Usher, and his splitty, because I can tell you, as a guy who would warm Ush up, anytime he would signal splitty, I had to cover my groin and almost close my eyes, because I would be here set up and it would come at my face and then it would just hit the pocket. Like that thing dropped so fast, and like the movement on it was nuts. Does your son's splitty compare to Ryan Usher's?
I would say it's.
Oh, he's gonna say better.
That would be amazing. Maybe better at that point.
Better.
So the difference is Usher was throwing like 80, right?
Yeah. Enough that
Probably
I couldn't see it.
82 at a time, probably. So Jacoby's throwing 68, and so his
50, was 15, 16?
64, 68. That's an exaggeration. Probably 65.
No. How old is
And
he?
he's 14. So not very hard. Like elite
Not
pitchers
very-
that is elite
What's hard
pitchers
for a
that
14-year-old?
probably 78, 80 is what the
Really?
top
Wow.
AAA kids are throwing. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was watching 18U baseball. I was watching a guy for the SAS 5 AAA Marlins. I forget his name. But he was throwing 90, I'd say 80, 88, 90. He's been clocked at 94 this year. So
How is that humanly possible?
it's just crazy. Yeah, he was bringing it, and it felt 88. It felt like Lindbergh speed, kind of. You know what I mean? It felt sort of. And I'm just at the side. It's super windy that day too. We've had tons of wind, as you guys know, but it felt 88. It felt like Dustin Mulligan at the over 35 provincials 3 years ago when he made an appearance, and he was throwing
name
easy
Yeah.
88.
I know that
then-
one.
And then he'd throw in. Lindbergh was there too, and he was throwing almost as hard as Mulligan, which was pretty crazy for the age that he is. But he's a firefighter, and he's in sweet shape, and the
How does-
ligaments and muscles are all together.
How would that compare to Mirari's fastball that struck me out in 3 pitches and I didn't even get close?
Which Mirari?
I think with
Mirari?
Dave.
So Dave Mirari at what age?
Well, just like a couple years ago, playing Rhinos. He just filled in for a game and they put him on the bump, and then I was the first guy up, and I didn't even see a pitch. He threw so frickin' hard. I just stood there. I swung at one, embarrassed myself, and, hit the bench right back and sit in shame.
Yeah, I don't think he was throwing. I don't know if he was throwing.
Was it
very
Dan?
deep.
Whoever it
It's
was,
probably
it was a lot. It was enough that I
Lefty
couldn't see. I'm just
No,
trying
it
to get
was like 92. It was 92,
Yeah.
Gary. It
There
was
you
a
go.
heavy fastball. There's no
It's
way.
crazy.
Like, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your
Yeah.
fault.
I blame my coaches growing up.
Yeah.
Hey, not enough BP. They didn't do live BP. We didn't have batting cages back in the day. We were doing.
We had a
we were doing
Bronzies. We had
whistles on
Bronzies
the
in his
side,
backyard.
Bronzy's backyard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was our only
Yeah.
batting cage.
but not pregame.
That's true. That'd be like a weekend
All
treat.
these
Maybe
guys-
some wiffle balls.
Yeah, all these kids are getting 40 hacks every game.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sweet. What were we talking?
I'm starting to go anti for the younger kids. Like, I'm talking probably 12U. I'm actually saying my view is do not show up at the game an hour before. You don't have to have a practice before the game.
Yeah.
I disagree
Because
with
what
you.
I'm finding
love
here is, at least here, they're competing with other sports like basketball and netball. And these games, you show up 15 minutes before the game, 10 minutes before the game, you go play. 5 minutes after the game's over, you're gone home. Parents love that. And we've got this thing in baseball, and I'm guilty. Like, when I got here and we're probably coaching under sevens, we're like, you got to be there an hour before. And then after you have your talk and the coaches talk too long afterwards, it turns into like a 3.5 hour commitment.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the normal. And then all of a sudden my kids are playing other sports. I'm like, well, this is pretty good. Like, I can get back home, get a couple loads of laundry done,
Yeah.
get the
Get in, get
grass
out.
cut, all that stuff. But we run a practice before game for under 12s and under 8s.
You do, but you know what? I just had this conversation. I'm on the other side, AJ, because we have the Rally Cap program for the 7Us and 9Us that are introducing baseball. We use the pitching machines, and they don't practice. They just have two days a night that they show up to play, and it's usually at like 5:30. There's usually a 5:30 and a 6:45 time slot or a 7 time slot. So really short. And the idea is that you practice for a half hour.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
I've seen it. Yep.
play a half hour, 45 minutes, but everybody shows up and they want to just hop into the game. But none of the kids, A, understand how to play, or B, how to pay attention in right field when 7 players go up.
Nobody
swing
knows
and
how to
hit
do that.
anything, and no one is hitting it. Yeah, exactly. But you're not learning anything and you're not developing any skills. So it's just like you rotate maybe every batter. Some coaches will rotate so you see every position in those every bat innings, which is fine, but you still might not see any action. So the idea is that you're supposed to practice before you play, and coaches have issues with it. But as you go older, everybody practices before the game. And then as we're getting a bigger our association's growing and growing and SAS 5, and there's more and more teams, there's no diamond space or diamond availability to have legit practices during the week. So we practice maybe once, maybe twice a week, and then we have our games once or twice. So if we don't practice before the games, we're not getting the reps needed to be a good time. I understand what you're saying for 11-year-olds and 10-year-olds, but you can't just go and have 2 at-bats and strike out twice and think you're going to get better next week that you go and try and do that again without any practice. So I 100,000% disagree.
This is going to be, we could have a whole show on this, on how the kids game needs to be modified, because never in a game should a kid only get 2 at-bats anyways. There's different ways.
Sure.
Anyways, we're just having this talk recently here.
But the problem is if you do smaller teams and smaller groups, and then at that age, commitment's an issue. So then you're showing up to the diamond with 3 kids. Well, you can't do much. So you gotta do some sort of game where there's no outfield. I want to see where you have, like in blitzball, you see how they turn the stadium backwards. So it's like the home run fence is actually the stadium that surrounds the back porch or whatever. So it's only 40 feet deep, and you kind of hit from second base. So everything's in play. I don't know if you've noticed that. So you'll do that where it's like you have a big monster. So if you hit a home run, it's over the fence. I'd like to see that, because none of the kids are going to hammer the ball. So go the other direction. So it's all focused infield, and you just put a net in the back and you're hitting everything. So it hits the fence. It doesn't roll forever. It's a small little space that you're playing on. And then you can just do rep after rep after rep and hopefully get kids 4, 5, 6 at bats a game.
Interesting.
Sounds logical.
I will say, as a guy whose warm-up routine as a Rhino was putting in a big, giant dip at chaw and then slapping butts for 20 minutes straight, making sure everyone's ready to go, I'm probably realizing why I'm so bad at baseball. I wasn't doing the proper stuff. But as a glue guy, I was taught by my coaches to be a good bench guy. And that's what it's all about.
There. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
But you know what, Gaza? You still love the game and you still play it.
That's it.
That's the end game.
It's the beautiful. It's my beautiful
99% of the people.
I absolutely love it. We got about 10 minutes to go here on the Wednesday edition of your show. I do want to get into Major League Baseball. Oh, Coach One, yeah.
Go with the Major League Baseball. I'd love to hear your guys' perspective. Add this to your list, maybe. But that play at third base where George Springer was called out.
Oh, the hop.
He was hopping on.
Oh, heartbreaking, hey? Poor guy. What's your take on it, real quick? Just so people know, George Springer had a big hit, went to third, and was called safe, and then did a little hop. And the announcers were trying to flip it, like maybe he injured himself or something. He was trying to like wiggle something out.
No.
Whatever it was. Exactly. He was just hopping up and down.
No.
And
I'm going to set AJ up here. Can I set him up?
Yeah, you take it away.
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So the rule, he was called out because he was off the base, right? So first base is the only base where you can, and I guess home, where you can run through the bag, right? So you run through the bag and then you go to foul territory. You can obviously do that at second base. And at third base, in theory, you can, because the foul line's there as well. But those ones you have to stop and be safe. And if you get excited or stand up to dust yourself off, the third base or second baseman can drag his arm on your back, or they can do a hidden ball trick and tag you, and you're out. And you should have the discipline and the wherewithal and the be in the moment to know that despite just doing something incredible, you still have to be aware of the situation and make sure that you have your foot touching the base. And that's baseball, and that's how it should be, damn it.
Well, also to add to that, you should be taught growing up that if you are manning a base, keep the tag on the guy until the play is called dead. Don't ever stop touching him, because you never know. He might slip off. He might do a little hop, a skip, maybe an over-expressive celly, and all of a sudden, boom, you got him.
No,
you don't like that one, Coach One?
No.
Rebuttal.
Imagine just holding the glove on the player the whole time. Then then does the umpire have to say, okay, you can throw it in now? Time.
Well, just once the play's dead.
When's the play dead? The umpire's going to.
Well, someone's got to acknowledge.
I mean, at any time, if you come off the bag, you can be tagged out.
So that
we
was a
go.
great setup, Mace.
Here we go.
because
He knew it.
Coach
He
Comer
knew it
too.
was coming.
Maggie thinks
Oh,
we're
he's
getting all
stirring me
fired
up.
up here. She's worried.
Why was the replay brought into the game? Why did they bring that in?
I guess to confirm that he came off the bag when the tag was on.
Get the
No,
call
that's
right.
not
Get
why.
the call
no,
right.
No, it's not why.
No. Here we go.
To get the call right. So on the bang plays, did they get the slide in? Did the foot touch the bag before, or did the glove come down? Or at first base, did the ball beat the runner? Vice versa.
Did he trap the ball? Did it hit the ground first?
Yeah, did it trap it? Did he actually catch or not? Like, take away all these, like, the right calls.
Okay.
So I love that. I think that's good because it just takes out all the BS.
Yeah.
But this idea of a player sliding into second, and if you overslide the bag, yeah, you're out. But if you slide into second and as you pop up, you come off the base for a millimeter, and because the tag is on you, I think that's ridiculous that they're called out for that. Because it's not like they're making an intentional effort to take an extra base. It's like running down first base. If you run out a throw at first base, right, and you're safe, and you run down the line, you can turn left and come back to the base. Everybody used to think the rule, if you turn left, the runner's out. That's not the case. There has to be an effort, an intentional effort to make a movement towards second base. Then you're live. Then you're live game, they can tag you. But you can turn left onto the field, walk back to first base. That makes sense because there's no effort or thought process for half a second to take an extra base. Same when you slide into second and you do the pop-up slide. It's not an effort to move towards third base. It's just how you slide. And because you pop off for a millimeter or 2 millimeters, you get called out for that. Or George Springer, there was zero intentional effort on him to try and go home. So that's why I think that the replay rule should be there to get the call right, but not to catch out these unintentional efforts to advance a base.
So what you want is for the umpire to have the ability to rule as his opinion goes one way or another, to give some of that leeway. It's not 100% safe or out. You want some leeway in between to say, you know what, he would be out technically, but he made no movement towards advancing, so therefore he is safe.
That's it. That's just like that rule at first base.
Yeah.
I guess I think it's two different things.
That's where it'll get caught up. Eh?
So I think when you're on a bag, like on second or third, because then it becomes a matter of degree. Okay, how much do you have to come off before it wasn't half an inch, it was an inch, so he's off. I think if you're going to have replay, and if the rule is that if you're off the base and you get tagged, you're out. Like, if you're introducing a matter of degree, then I think that becomes much worse because
Pandora's box
how far off is it where it's like, oh, okay, now you're off the bag. I mean, you were off the bag that other time, but it was only an inch.
Picture the umpire making an announcement saying, after review, we have found that it was 1.5 inches above the bag, therefore the runner is out. Like, could you imagine hearing that at a baseball game?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Rebuttal.
I get where you're going with it. And I was curious what you guys would think about this.
Yeah.
I think it's about the intent.
Okay.
Did you try to take an extra base, gain an advantage? And if so, and they tagged you in trying to gain that advantage, you're out.
Okay.
But that's not the rule.
What's that?
But that's not the rule.
I know it's not the rule, but it should. That's what I'm saying. Is it should be the rule.
So then how do you get into the how do you enforce it? How do you decide?
Well, like they do at first base. They do it at first base.
Why do they get to run through on first base? Why is that a thing?
I mean, that's
and
just
then turn left onto the field, and still.
Well, I mean, I think we've all seen guys get called out for that when it's like, and that's. I mean, I personally think that's silly, but. That's.
But it's called out if the runner makes an intent to run. If they make kind of a like, oh, I'm gonna go. Oh no, now I've changed my mind.
That's the question. What does intent look like? And who's the Hawkeye ruling that intent was made?
Hey, you know what? You're going back to first. Turn right. There's a solution.
What difference does it make?
Because if you turn left, they might think you're making a move. So hey, turn right. Easy solution.
Just bring the robots. Get rid of the umpires.
Hey, I'd be okay with that.
See it? I love.
I have an idea.
Yeah, that guy got kicked
I have
out
an
for that.
idea.
That's right.
That was crazy.
Taylor Walls,
he got kicked out.
He threw me a ball once in Toronto. I like him.
That's amazing. Coach Comet 2, go ahead.
Well, what if there's, for AJ's purpose, there's 2 bags at every base now. There's the orange bag for fair, right? Or for foul when you're running through it. And there's the white bag when you want to stay and play.
Like
Same
the
thing
safety
at
bag.
second. There's one in a safety bag at every position. So you're running in on a potential double play or a force play and you're sprinting into the base. Sure, you're going to slide into second, right? You're going to stay there because that's the safe thing to do. But maybe there's just a orange bag and then a white strip into the outfield that if you stay on that white strip, you're continually safe.
Okay. But don't you go a foot over that strip.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that it's got to be
Or a millimeter.
Or a
millimeter. I got a bigger issue, fellas. I'm looking at my bat and I realized that there were some kids on my 15U team that were swinging my fungo. And it's not a very expensive fungo, but they were probably checking it out and seeing how it swings. And it's 34. But I'm looking, I don't know if you could see this. Can you see that?
Can't see much. That
Not
dent?
really.
Little dent? Oh, yeah, there it is. The little pebble dent.
Your nails are
Like
looking nice.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
quite
there's some,
manicured.
you know what? There's definitely some shale under those fingernails.
That's all right.
And then
Hardworking man.
That's right.
Look at this one. Can you see that one over the tape?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What were they hitting?
Yeah, what
Golf
the heck
balls.
is rocks?
They're hitting rocks.
Yeah.
I just realized there's rock things like how do 14, like
Rock and
I know who
dingers.
did it. I think I know who was swinging it the other day. And now I'm realizing that they thought it's just fine to hit rocks with my bat. So I'm now going to take their hype fire and their Easton whatever, and I'm going to hit poles.
Coach
And I'm going to make
Kamatu's
them run
rage has
poles.
frozen the video feed.
How do I handle this? What do I
Bench
do
him.
as Coach
Cut him.
AJ?
Oh, yeah. Send
What
them
do I
in.
do?
Educate them.
Because there's no dents. You know what? There's only baseball markings. I don't hit rocks. I got practice in. I'm going to go away for a second.
Okay.
Oh, the time's gone. I got practice in like 20 minutes, and I'm livid right now.
Oh, no. We have 2 grumpy coaches today. This is not good. We got to cheer you guys up. As we got 3 minutes to go, we're going to wake up Frankie here right away. I do want to say you're Toronto Blue
Tell me
Jays.
what to do.
Well,
What do I do?
Cut him. Cut him.
Just cut
Cut
them.
him. Make him
I hate to play
Ruthless.
them.
No.
Run
Make them
polls.
stand. Make them stand in the batter's box and put one between each of their numbers.
You got the Major
Full
League
fastball.
standings
I do.
open there, Gary?
This is what I wanted to finish with.
What
to
team
cheer
has
everyone
the
up.
second best record in Major League Baseball right
you
now,
guys,
Gary?
the Cubbies are hot. Tied.
No
with
one's
the,
buying it. No one's believing it.
Tied with the Mets for first in the National League, and then
I think we pulled ahead of the Mets, didn't we?
Did you? Hold on. You might have had a game today. I'm just looking right now.
Oh,
Mets
maybe.
38-38. Either way,
Yeah.
very impressive showing by your Cubbies. The Detroit Tigers.
Tigers, best record in baseball,
Bells of
as
the
we all
ball.
predicted.
Crazy, right? So good. I was watching some of those games when they were playing the Jays. I
So
don't know a
great.
single name on that team, and they're all studs.
I love
Is that-
watching Tarek Skubal pitch.
Spencer Torkelson.
So good.
Great
Former top prospect. He might be
Torkelson.
your all-star first baseman.
Yeah.
You get to listen to Jason Benetti call the games, and he's such a great broadcaster.
That's awesome.
Hey, you, were you hitting rocks?
There he is.
You, were you hitting rocks?
Yeah.
With bats.
No.
Who
Yeah.
was?
Todd.
Who was?
Hey,
Wrong
no
team.
snitches get
He's going
stitches,
to-
Louis. Don't say nothing. Keep your mouth shut. You got
Oh,
to
you have
keep
a game.
that holy ground of the locker room. Toronto Blue Jays, 2 games, over 500, third place.
Bye.
Addison Barger, talk about all-star players. We need to do
Ooh,
some
coming out
Addison
of
Barger
nowhere.
talk, because holy cow, he has been awesome.
You're here. The piano has begun. Anything else, Coach Kamatu, before you head out to the Diamond?
No, I showed him off my redneck there. I'm just gonna go get changed here and get in my baseball gear and
Ooh.
yeah, stay healthy out there.
Your show after dark.
There it is. That's that's very proud. The hair looks amazing. I'm very happy for you, right there. That's awesome. Coach number 1, any
Oh,
final
check this
thoughts?
Whoa,
Hold
wait.
on. Yeah. Torpedo?
Jacoby got a torpedo bat.
Oh, that thing is
That's
beautiful.
pretty.
It hasn't been used yet, has it? Hey, there's
What are
the
you doing in my
stud. Look
room?
at that. What a handsome fella. They're growing so fast.
Oh, an 82.
That's crazy. I throw like 51, and he's throwing
Going
82.
64.
Hey, you know, if you go to Barry's games, they have a gun now. You can do the thing. You can try it. You
I
can
shame
find out
myself
how to-
enough, but I urge everyone else to go.
Absolutely.
I
Hey,
used
what do you
to-
think of
Play
this?
tonight
Hold
at
on,
7
hold
p.m.
on.
Fort McMurray Giants.
There it is. Game night,
Cairns
baby.
Field.
Go Berries,
Look like you're
go.
wearing a
Next gen
wig.
patch.
There you go.
Oh, he's gearing up. Coach, number one, any thoughts before we roll out?
Yeah, as rough of a week as it's been, and grumpy I am, but pretty excited. Just launched on Spotify, the Teams That Swear podcast.
Nice.
So the
Congratulations.
big episode. So that's just there. So the first interview is with Belinda Clark, who's the only female cricketer in the world to have a statue made in her honor. Superhuman, on the field, off the field. So Spotify, Teams That Swear, get on there, follow it, and yeah, get on it.
I love it. Did she write the foreword for your book?
She did. That's who it is. That's,
There it is.
that's
Beautiful.
Look at you,
Final
Barry.
thoughts. Simon
Gold
Hyatt.
star.
I hope Coach will come. I hope Coach 1 feels better because I hope you kick that manmonia or whatever you're calling it, and go Berries go. You'll hear me say that tonight, as well as Simon says 7
Yes.
p.m. Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field.
Go Berries.
Go Berries go.
Go coaches. And go hockey tonight. Game
Go
1 Stanley
hockey.
Cup Finals. Pretty crazy.
We didn't even talk about it.
We can't. We got to go now. Remember, karma's very real. Do good things. They'll happen to you. I love you all. Take care.